Hey, back with movie reviews. We're gonna talk about The Girl with All the Gifts. Came out in 2016. You can go see it on Netflix. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I did make a first take that was around 27 minutes, and my phone cut off half of it. So I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Girl with All the Gifts, zombie movie. It's a different take on the zombie franchise. There's a girl. She's half zombie, half human. You find out that it's a spore infection. That's a fungal infection that turns people into zombies. And she has a class that are all in a army base, and they're all half human, half zombies like her. You find out later in the story that basically their mothers were all infected somehow or some other. And the infection, this fungal infection, went into, I guess, the fetus, and turned them, and they all ate their way out of their mothers, killed their moms, but they still had kept their higher functioning brain and things like devices like that. It's pretty good. There's awesome character growths, and I want to say maybe now I would say maybe one person had an awesome character growth, and that's Sergeant Parks, who was basically in charge of the soldiers in that base where they were keeping the kids. He starts off as a jerk, means the kids, don't really treat them as people. They're zombies, they're not human, they're all monsters, they're animals, treat them as such. He changes from that to depending on our main character, Melanie, through the entire time, depending her to go out and help them. He was depending her to go take zombies away. He's depending on her to be a lookout, and she shows him that she's a valuable person in this new outside world that they had. And because of that, in the end, when he unfortunately dies, he finds out that basically he cares for her now. He sees her as a valuable person, that she isn't a monster and that she didn't need to be treated that way. I like his character growth. There's a teacher basically who treated them the entire time, and she winds up the only one of the party who lives at the end. But she starts from the beginning to the end the same way. She cared about Melanie, she cared about the kids, she cared about teaching, she loved them all and just know they were children. And unfortunately, at the end, she's spending her entire life now in a mobile lab that she can't get out of because the entire world is infected by spores, because now the zombie plague is airborne. Even though the mobile van moves, so I don't understand why she's just sitting in the same spot. And technically, she probably should be dead pretty soon because there's no way to give her food. Can't open the door and leave snacks. No, she's probably gonna die out of starvation. But anyway, movie's pretty good. I enjoyed it. I would definitely say go see it. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Yeah, go see. Came out 2016. It's on Netflix. Girl with many gifts. Oh, sorry, Girl with All the Gifts. That's it. It's pretty good. There's a couple of gripes that I have. There's a fight scene between her and a wild zombie kid who's kind of like them, but they didn't grow up in that facility, and they weren't taught. They were just already predetermined in the zombie apocalypse world, and they didn't really grow up with any like teaching, so they kind of like just grunt, and they're kind of like wild animals, even though they're just like Melanie, half kid, half zombie, and she fights them, and it's a weird fight scene. And it's a weird dynamic because she knows how to talk to them, even though she's never seen them before, so she shouldn't know how they communicate or their hierarchy system or anything like that. But apparently, within just 5 seconds of watching them, she knows it all. What other gripes? I don't really have any other gripes with this movie. It's pretty straight, simple. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm not going to say it's one of the best zombie movies. It has some issues. The doctor in it, who dies near the end, Dr. Codwell, you can kind of see, and I kind of understand her thought process through the entire movie. She starts as a villain, but stays a villain, but you understand why she's a villain. She's she's thinking of the kids, not as children, not as kids. But even though she has an interesting dynamic with Melanie, she knows that Melanie's smart. She knows that Melanie's a very acceptable person, and she talks to her and gives her like trivia and questions and riddles that she needs to figure out. Um, but she uses the kids as the mean to find a cure, which you kind of have to dissect yourself from. You can't treat them as children, or she dissects them as you find out. That would get to you mentally. So I kind of see why she had to take a step back and realize that these kids are a means to find a cure, and it kind of kicks her in the end. It kind of kicks her butt. But like I said, I give it 3 out of 5. Try it out. It's not the awesome best zombie movie, but it's a different take on the whole thing.